The Unconditional Love. Chapter 2, Painful Reality. Seeing him like this made me realize many things. I was awestruck and dumbfounded at the same time. How can this be the same Manon who treated me with only coldness, can be this gentle and loving? His eyes were shining in love and softness. He was indeed in love with you, child. He slowly stood up, and as soon as his eyes met mine, his smile faded away and replaced with an emotionless cold look. He cleared his throat and suddenly pulled me towards bed, making me sat on it. From now on, you will do no chores of the house, no cooking and roaming here and there. I will appoint some maids for you, he commanded in a cold tone, while I stared at him blankly. No need for this, Darian. It's just a month pregnancy. One can Before I could continue my words, he interrupted me with his stern tone. No means no, Anastasia. You wouldn't touch any work. I don't want any risk in the matter of my child, he said, as this child is only his, which made me feel more bad and frustrated. Our Darian. This child is ours, not yours. I emphasized the words, and standing up from the bed, I made my way towards the bathroom. No need to worry. This child is mine as well. I am him's mother, and you don't have to tell me what to do. I was enraged this time, so I didn't let him overpower me. But before I could enter the bathroom, I was harshly pulled back against a hard chest, making me gasp a little. Looking up, I met with Darian's burning gaze. Look who was talking about to not take a risk. If he will grab me like this, does he really expect nothing will happen? I could have fallen and hurt myself. But yeah, I forgot that this almighty man becomes a beast in anger. Do not speak to me like this, Anastasia Black. You don't want to test my patience, do you? He seethed by attaching his surname with mine, clearly warning me with his hard tone. And it did work. His anger always makes me his submissive, but today I was feeling different. I didn't want to even see his face. I don't know what was the reason for my anger, but I knew one thing. I can't do this anymore. Today, he broke the last string of my hope. Tears blurred many eyes as I stared in his eyes without showing a single ounce of fear. Instead, I was hurt. He hurt my soul. Some emotions flashed in his eyes when he noticed my tears. Leaving my arm, he took a step back, but without saying any further word, he stormed out of the room, slamming the door shut. It's not like this was our first argument. We used to have many arguments. And some arguments turned into angry sex when he used to wreck me hard. It was his way of punishment. He used to do rounds after rounds till I myself begged him to stop. When he got satisfied with my punishment, he did what he always does, leaving me alone and waiting for me to take a shower in the guest room. Entering the bathroom, I let the tears embrace my cheeks as I stared in the mirror. For the last 3 years, I never heard his soft voice, his caring attitude. Not even one soft glance from him, but today, the way he smiled, showed his soft and caring attitude towards our child, which wasn't even born yet, made me realize many things. He loves this child more than anything. The way he showered his love on an unborn child made it easier for me to accept the painful reality from which I was running away. I was no one to him except a distraction from his tension, frustrations, and a substitute for his first love. Placing my hand on my stomach, I smiled as tears have started to stream down my eyes. Mommy loves you, baby. Never thought that you can bring so much happiness for your father in just a few seconds. You're the best thing that's going to happen to us. Just remember, Mama loves you. I said everything, whipping my tears and placing a smile on my face, finally deciding what I have to do. I know, my love. My heart isn't enough to erase your scars, Darian. But remember, this foolish girl, whatever she's going to do, is for you. Only for you. Because she loves you way too much. Making my mind, I knew what I have to do next. I silently changed my clothes and sat down on the bed. He was there once again, sleeping peacefully. I rested my back on the bed's headboard and got busy in my thoughts. Today was the first day, when I didn't force his arms around me, when I didn't beg his sleeping form to cuddle me. I silently stayed in the place, busy in thinking about what next I have to do, without reasoning those same words left from my lips. I love you, Darian. Without realizing anything, I fell asleep in the same sitting position. I sighed heavily, staring at her sleeping figure. How can she sleep like this and that be when she's pregnant? She should be careful. I gently lifted her body and laid her down properly, covering her with duvet. I was surprised when she didn't hug me today. I don't know what happened to her or happening. I felt 1,000 punches on my chest, witnessing her teary eyes. I had seen her tearing up only when I first had sex with her as she was a virgin. I didn't really care that time, and without even thinking about that possibility, I slammed myself too hard. I felt guilt rushing, and I tried to be as much gentle I can be. That was the only night when I treated her with softness and gentle attitude. But today again, those precious tears made Em drown in regret. But it wasn't anything new. We had many fights. Anna was always like a girl who can't resist defending herself. And we sometimes even had more rough fights than this. But the question was why she started to cry then. I know her, she isn't a crybaby. She loves me, and for me it's enough for us. Now we are becoming a family, our child is coming, and we will be a complete family. Then what's wrong with her? She always knew about my cold self. I wasn't always like that. But sometimes things and past scars turned you into a completely different person. My heart doesn't feel anything anymore. I told her from the first second we got engaged that don't expect anything from me, which she obediently accepted. For the past 3 years, she never complained about my unloving attitude. Yes, we had fights when sometimes I came home late, when sometimes I was drunk. All of our arguments were always related to my attitude and faults. But she never even for once forced her love on me. She loves to express her love by whispering, "I love you," every time she wants. She never forced any kind of physical contact on me if I don't want. That's what I like about her. She's understanding and a perfect ideal woman anyone can die for. But I had noticed for past 2 days that she's being a little distant to me. She looks more in thoughts and doesn't like to talk to me much anymore. Sighing heavily, I laid beside her and stared at her sleeping face, which was only inches away from mine. Extending my hand, I removed a strand of her face, giving her beauty the longest stare. "I hope you wouldn't leave me. I couldn't be able to handle that. Anna,